Hey guys, it's Caleb here. In today's video, I'm going to be swapping out the headlights and we're prepping to take the car to the tuner. So hopefully it'll be tuned or at least get started and be able to start it up. It's been about 9-10 months since I've last seen this car start. And now we have the standalone ECU in it. We have the ECU Master Black and the custom harness for the engine. So let's go ahead, get into it, and yeah, fingers crossed that it starts today. So we're just swapping out these headlights. These are a eBay set that I got, and I'm not exactly stoked with the way that the mounting situation is. Like my bulb there, that's like as tight as it goes, just because it's all weird. So you can see my stupid little splice there, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get those swapped out. So when I got in here, noticed that my splice connections from forever ago are still on here. They were unshrunk, and now I'm just gonna kind of clean it up. They're a little messy. I think I'll put a little protection on them, give them a little bit better heat shrink. But now I got to go ahead and I'm gonna de-pin so that I can slide some stuff on it, and then we'll go ahead and get that repinned, and then we'll be able to put the headlights in. The headlights that I did get are these. Also, they're not quite OEM, but they are pretty close as far as everything on the back side is concerned. In comparison, you can kind of see the back side and how it's built here versus how this one is built. That one has a much better boot on the main line. These have only been on the car, and actually the car's just been sitting since these have been on, and you can already see them just deteriorating. But this is more like a cheap, like I think it was like $60-$80 set, and this one is a couple $100, but you know, I guess it's one of those things, you kind of get what you pay for. That one has like a factory breather, this doesn't, so that's why we're getting rid of these ones. And I believe these ones will look and function a whole lot better. So So, went ahead, got some fabric soft tape on there, got this all heat shrunk, got a little bit of loom on there to help protect it, and yeah, went ahead and tested it. Now we're gonna go ahead, we can throw the retainer back in, get that on. Maybe I can do it with the camera. Who knows? Let's see. All right. Boom. There we go. Sorry about that. But now we're ready to install the new headlights. So let's try and get that going. Alright, I haven't opened this one up yet, so that's why it was a pain to get out of the box. It was packed pretty tight. So. There's a little pin here. Grab it. Got some instructions on moisture and whatnot. I only need that. Go away. we go. That's pretty good. The fitment between the two, it's about the same. At least where the lenses meets the fender, you always seem to get this weird kind of gap. That or I pulled my fenders out to meet these big old tires, clearance them, so who knows what it is, but I'm pretty sure my OEM ones fill that gap. I mean, obviously nothing is going to fit quite like OEM, but here's the other side. The old one still got the gap. Mounts are decent, but it's just that crooked thing, and just the way that the boot for the main light was. So now we got our LED turn signals vertical, and yeah, also these sat for a while, yellowed up, and these will just look nice and fresh. So go ahead and get the other side going. Well, got them on, got both sides. Boom, boom. Vertical turn signals. Nice. Yeah. Love how clean new headlights look on cars. It's the little detail that always seems to make your car just look a million times better. Those ones weren't bad. The ones before I tried to clean, but I'm actually really excited and stoked with these ones. This is the brand. I think they're a bit more expensive. They're a couple $100 for the set, but you get a little bit better quality. So it's hard enough to find OEM lights that are at least in a livable like condition, something that's decent. So this as a second option is pretty good. Fitment's not terrible, but yeah, all the internals and everything else, the plastics, the moldings, they seem to be pretty good. So now let's go ahead and yeah, we'll be heading to the tuner's house shortly, so hopefully we'll have to load her up in here eventually, and then we'll get to it. Didn't want to leave you hanging, so I went ahead, got the bumper put back on. New lights look really good. So yeah. Well, she's packed up, off to tuning. Hopefully it goes good. It was kind of a pain to get it loaded, but yeah, it's all strapped up, good to go. Alright guys, so to finish off this video, the day kind of ended pretty crappy on Sunday. This a couple days later, I've had some time to work on it. What's going on is the crank and cam sensors, the signal input that I'm using on the laptop, on the software, on the ECU Master software, I guess I'm using the wrong type. I had it set to pull down, and it needs to be set for pull up on the Hall sensors. And then also I was just double checking wiring and whatever, and it turns out that the wiring was set up for the first gen motor with a 12 volt sensor, where the gen 2 cam and crank sensors are 5 volt. So I went ahead and I've swapped them to a 5 volt reference on the harness inside the car. And now, what had happened is I went to repin, and well, I ended up breaking a couple of pins off. So now I'm waiting till tomorrow when I get the new pins in, and then I'll be able to crimp them, put them back in the connectors, and put the connectors back in the motor. And that should pretty much, I'm hoping that gives me the proper inputs, because I've already went ahead, changed the inputs in the software to make sure that everything's good and that it should be reading properly. And so with that, yeah, just out here. I just have the car in the trailer, so I figured I'd come out here, chill with it, show you guys where it's at, and yeah, we'll end the video here. And then next time I'll try and update you guys with more information on when I'm actually getting it tuned, if this goes through, and if this actually works. It should. I mean, at this point I'm just working off of a theory, and you know, Hall effect sensors aren't anything new, so the software should be able to read them. I mean, I get that the QR isn't super popular when it comes to aftermarket support and stuff, but the sensors are, at least in this motor, the sensors look and seem like they're almost exactly the same as like the VQ HR motors and the VR series, like the GTR motors. Just similar sensors. I mean, they might not be exactly the same, but they're very similar in the way that they function, and you know, with 3 wires you can only have so much going on. So yeah, I'll give you kind of an overview of the engine bay, and yeah, we'll see you next time. So here, you can see where I broke the pigtails off. They just need to be crimped on again.